everything. That's it. I hold no regrets. You know, if I'd done it again, what I would do differently is I'd have pressure fighters coming at me. Okay. In the camp, we had fighters in the Philly shell, similar to the style that he always fights, or fighters against the ropes. But never fighters, well, we did have fighters coming forward, like with that style, the way he eventually went. But that was only in the early rounds. Early rounds, I'm eating guys alive there. It's when I get tired, that's when I need to bring in that fresh body who's gonna sit on my chest and let shots fly. And if I'd done that, that alone would have made that the easiest fight of my life. Because make no mistake, Carl, up until like round 5, that was the easiest fight in my life. I could see everything he was throwing. I was cracking him easily. It was only when I started fading and he started leaning on me and started coming forward in that Mexican style that I started to fade. And that's it, so. That's what I would do differently. I'd have people come pressure me when I'm tired instead of early, so.
Well, you're always pushing the boundaries with the training and the techniques that you're using. You're at the UFC High Performance Center. You know, we saw you sort of running underwater on treadmills, doing all this crazy stuff. Is there anything from this training camp that you can take into your UFC training camps now, sort of new skills that you learn?
I built an incredible engine. Make no mistake about that. Although 30 minutes is, I went 25 minutes, I got into the best shape of my life. So I'm just going to keep going with it, And then also know that, like in this camp, it was like round 1 to 8 was the fight. And then 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 was my friends, more people I'm comfortable with, just to get to the 12th round. Because I had to get to the 12th round in sparring comfortably and safely. And if I'd done it too early, I could have picked up an injury, lost out on the fight, lost out on the whole event, and hampered everything. So that was the goal. This time, I'd probably switch it around. I'd have round 1 to 8 heavy, real competitive, and then I just have a heavier opponent on me, putting the pressure for the last 4 rounds, and I just have to survive in there. And I honestly, truly feel if I'd have done that, I would have been laughing in that fight. But look, you live and learn. That's what we say. You don't lose. You either win or you learn.
Yeah, and that saying has taken you well through your career so far. We have some water, please.
Look. Nah, vodka and orange. Look that. I'm squeezed into this suit. I got this suit fitted about a couple of months ago, and I'm squeezing into it now.
Is this one of the McGregor Augusto?
Yeah, this is an August McGregor line. It looks like the tartan for the Scots. You know what I mean? I was thinking about that. That's why I rocked this one.
Look, you may have bought a suit. Mayweather's put an 8-foot glass picture of you in his new 19 million home in Beverly Hills. Are you going to reciprocate?
I don't know. It's some house. It's some house. What I noticed from it, fair play to him, it's some Porsche, it's a $26 million Beverly Hills mansion. But I'm thinking, that house purchase, the tax bill off this fight, the tax bill off the previous bill, and then his good investments, I could be getting a phone call anytime soon to go again, and I'd fucking love that.
There's not out the question. There looked like there was a lot of respect between the two of you after the fight, and even in the build-up, you're enjoying yourself. I mean, if you look back at it now, what was the most memorable or enjoyable part of the whole experience, from the deal getting done, to the crazy press tour, to the fight week itself, and the aftermath?
Cashing the check.
Can you tell us what you did clear in the end? There was reportedly 100 million.
Yeah, well, it's around that. We're still in the counting game. Some people are saying it's this, other people are saying it's that. You know, you get your show money, then you go, you gather all the other information, the gate, the pay-per-view, the sponsorship revenue, the merchandise sales. It's my first time as a promoter of an event. So it's my first time kind of diving into all of these things. So I'm building a nice little team of auditors to go in and make sure that all these numbers that people are telling me are correct. So right now we're in the counting game.
You've spoken about this already, but could that mean that the UFC are you ever open to co-promoting in a way of McGregor Sports Entertainment? Because that's something we've never really seen in this sport at the highest level. Is that something that the promotion would be open to?
Yeah, well, listen, we're not looking for any co-promoters in the UFC, but we've always got a done deal with Conor. You know what I mean? When you look at Conor McGregor and his value that he brings, he's incredible. The guy's a global superstar. You know, you can say whatever you want about, you know, his talking and everything. He always backs it up. He will literally fight anybody, anywhere, anytime. So if anybody deserves the money, it's Conor. You know, we've always dealt well together from day one up to today, and we'll get a deal done.
Here with UFC President Dana White ahead of UFC 217 inside Madison Square Garden, and emotions are always running high when it gets to Friday at a weigh-in. It seems particularly high with these top 3 fights.
Madness. You know, the storyline between the co-main event, you know, combatants, if you will, is second to none. I mean, these guys were former teammates. They hate each other. Both super talented guys, and my pick to be fight of the night.
And then that main event, obviously, George coming back for the first time for 4 years. What kind of sense have you gotten from George after that long, long layoff?
Yeah, I mean, he seems into it. He's in great shape. He's been off for 4 years, and Bisping's an absolute lunatic this week. I mean, the guy is so hard to control right now. I expect that to be a very good fight, too. And then you want to know, Jacek can't keep her hands off off of Rose. It's been a crazy week.
What do you mean it's been hard to control Michael Bisping? What's he doing?
He's an absolute lunatic this week. He's been a terror at the hotel. Every time we do the face-offs, he wants to put his hands on St. Pierre. It's just today he's telling me to get out of his way, and you know he's not going to touch him. I said, you just touched him 3 times. Yeah, you're going to. He's been crazy, man. So I expect these fights to be awesome.
Yeah, is that a good thing or a bad thing that Michael Bisping's so emotional heading into this one?
Who knows? I don't know. We'll see tomorrow. You know, St. Pierre has been. You know what? St. Pierre said I made this mistake once. I got this emotional over a fight, you know. So let Bisping get as emotional as he wants, and he's calm, cool, collected. We'll see if it has an effect on the fight tomorrow.
And Joanna, the strawweight champ, you mentioned her. She's about to tie Ronda Rousey's record if she defeats Namajunas on Saturday. Can you put her into context? What does that mean? What is the significance of that?
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Ronda is, you know, the best to ever do it, the woman who built, you know, women's mixed martial arts to what it is today. And if she can tie her and then break the record, I mean, it's hard not to call her the greatest ever. You know, not just female fighter.
And he would eventually, you know, catch him with some shots. He hit him with a lot of shots. He looks fantastic tonight, and I couldn't be more proud of him.
Do you think he's proud of his performance? I know that you were in there speaking with him.
He's not. He's very upset with himself. He feels like that fight was there for the taking, and, you know, he thinks that the fight was stopped early. I was good with the stoppage. He's not a professional boxer. He stepped in there to fight, you know, arguably the greatest of all time, and he looked damn good doing it. I was okay with 10 rounds.
What do you think this message sends to the boxing community? You know, there were people who were saying he's not even going to be able to land a single punch. Floyd is going to knock him out in 1 round. He has no business being in there.
Max Kellerman. Yeah, some of the guys, I haven't had a chance to talk to Max, but I talked to Stephen A. Smith, and he said, wow, okay, I'm impressed. Great fight. And I'm sure that's how everybody feels. Conor McGregor went in tonight and didn't, you know, wasn't the typical Floyd running around. Conor hit him and hit him a lot. Hit him with some big shots, hit him to the body. It was a great showing.
Do you believe that had his cardio kept up, he would have come out victorious in this?
Well, I think if his cardio kept up, it would have went 12 rounds, and then it would have gone to the judges' scorecards. I think Showtime had it even going into 10, but the the judges did not.
So what is Conor McGregor's future? He said inside the ring he will certainly be back in the UFC. He's somebody who, once he takes a loss, he wants to get right back into competition. So what are you expecting from him?
I don't know. You know, I've been in there with him for a while tonight. We're not talking fighting tonight, so we'll see. I agree with you. He is that guy. That is what he usually does, and we'll see what happens.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. What an event.
Shots, good straight right hands to the body. But I had him early rounds, I thought, and then whatever. It's his composure that won him that fight, and his experience. So hats off to him.
Is this the most you've enjoyed yourself in your fighting career?
Man, I enjoy fighting. Period. All fights. I love fighting. I don't think. Have you interviewed me after a fight? I love a good knock. That was a good knock with a good, solid competitor. That's it. I was like, fair play to you, kept composure. I thought I had you in the early rounds, but you kept smart, you kept composed, and you took me out towards the end. Fair play to you. But when I took you back in that first exchange, it would have been over there and then. That's the truth. Like he was throwing his right hand, he threw his right hand, and then he'd leave his frame here. And when his frame was on me, I'd peel and get to the back. I finished many fights early because I have prepared for the full distance. This is no different. I am prepared to go the full 12 rounds with this man, but I am also prepared to knock him out in 10 seconds, and it would not surprise me if that happens. So it wouldn't be the first time.
It wouldn't surprise you if you would knock him out in 10 seconds? 10 seconds into the fight.
It would be my third fastest KO in my career.
And you think that's a realistic possibility?
I believe so. Size, reach, power, precision, all in my favor. I hit you, you fall.
A broken man. What was your message to him on the stage there after the weigh-in? He can't keep up with me and my pace. No way. I'm gonna run through him. How do you think this fight will go? Tell the world how you think this fight will go. What? Knockout. He's gonna be stiff. He's gonna go like this, and then he's gonna hit the floor at 100 miles an hour, like they all.
You would care to? First of all, I would prefer back.
Down in the history books, Conor.
That's me.
That's the only
What do you say?
I am down in the history books. I'm going down in the history books. I've dominated the UFC and I will dominate boxing also. It has never before been done, so that's where I'm going, down in the history books.
I mean, I ain't never known a man to make hundreds and hundreds of millions that's a loser.
How are you feeling right now? What is your prediction leaning towards? I believe you'll be unconscious inside 1 round.
If we were to get it on, I would most certainly dismantle him also.
Oh, wow. All right.
You're not excited by all this. Don't act like you're not excited by all this. He's a sick of the boxing game, you know it. He's a sick of everyone in the boxing game. Same shit, same boring shit. You are all highly excited by